Hello my friends, Tucker here, and welcome back to another Hearts of Iron 4 game. Yes my friends, we are back in the world of My Little Pony, Equestrian War, the mod where friendship is magic, and magic means explosions. I know that the past 7 or 8 videos that I have posted here have all been alternate history videos, and don't get me wrong, we are going to be returning back to that, but of course there are other things that I want to be able to do simultaneously. And some of you, for the past, I think 4 months, I saw some comments that have been begging me to do the same thing in here for, I kid you not, the past 20 or 30 videos at least. Because apparently, in this game, there's a secret path for a nation that normally does not get a focus tree, but somehow, due to some collaboration effort as an April Fool's joke, they put in something that was a combination between Stellaris, if you have seen when we've played that game, and this. I don't really know what else it is that I'm supposed to say here right now. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the mod, if this is your first time tuning in, yes, this is a My Little Pony mod for Hearts of Iron 4, which despite its cartoonish looks, is actually genuinely one of the most impressive and extensive mods in this entire game. I cannot believe the amount of work that they put into this, and the puns like Lambette with the Dalai Lama, or the puns like Stalliongrad, not Stalingrad, Stallion. Stallion. Frickin' Stallion. Anyway, moving on from that, the thing that we've been requested to play as is the Kingdom of Abyssinia, which, oh god, if I get control of this thing here, the mouse is going crazy. Right down here, what is supposed to be a representation, I guess, of Ethiopia, that's the idea, but it's cats. It's not Haile Selassie, it's Haile Selassie. Oh my god, the puns. I love it. I hate it. Oh my god. All right. But no, this is apparently not what we're doing. There's a special option that if you go to custom game rules, it gives us the option for Katzenreich, which is, if we do the cat from outer space, Kaiser Cattail, the supreme ruler of Katzenartig Imperium, has once again begun the cycle, only to find himself not on his preferred world of Flucian. This content is part of a joint effort between the Equestrian War and Giga Structural Engineering team for April Fool's 2024. For those of you who have been requesting that I do this for the last 3 or 4 months, well, there you go. You're finally getting your wish. I have no idea what to expect, but it's going to involve space kitties, apparently. Okay, side note on here that I just had to go ahead and interject. This mod is massive, absolutely way bigger than anything I ever anticipated, or rather this specific collaboration, to the point that we are going to end up having to do a part 2 of just how big this is. So if you like this video, if you want to see what happens, because it gets really wild in this, I swear, go ahead and like this video. If this video gets 5,000 likes, you're going to see a continuation of this that is insane, but you're going to have to watch to the end to see what it is that I'm talking about when I had to make this decision. So 5,000 likes, we'll go ahead and take over the world as a bunch of kitty cats. As I said, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the mod, this is the world of Equestria War. We have the actual, I don't even remember if there's specific names for the continents, but Equestria over here, you got Griffonia, and this whole Griffonian continent, and then down here, you have Zebrica, which is a representation of Africa, so to speak. So it's pretty much like the Americas, Europe, and Africa, with all of them having combinations of varying other states and that sort of thing. Abyssinia, as you can see from here, this is a representation of Ethiopia, which is very advanced, to say the least. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt. Okay, first things first from the get-go, we're gonna need to kind of resolve some of this here, which will take forever. Awesome. And let's check out this focus tree. We actually have an actual focus tree. It's not just the generic one that starts off. This isn't Flucian. Whatever this is, it isn't Flucian. Everything is strange, different, and odd. Perhaps this is a chance to start afresh with ripe clay for molding. Well, let's do it then. Also, I'm just saying this right now. Look at this flag. Look at this freaking flag. It's the purple stripes with a cat paw. Ah, it's so dumb. I love it, but it's so dumb. A wrong turn. Another defeat in the hand of the rival galactic powers. Another collapsing Imperium. Another storming of Cat Town and the Pyramid. Another failed attempt. It mattered little in the end, Cattail thought, as he barreled his way through eternity and onto the next iteration of the infinite cycle, where he knew that another Flucian and its billions of zealous Katzens would be waiting for him to arrive and retry everything once more. Cattail found himself in a cave, presumably somewhere near Cat Town. As he got up to exit the cave and restart his conquest, he felt heavier than usual. How strange. Had he put on weight since the last cycle? No matter, he thought, as he walked out of the cave, expecting to be greeted by a familiar sight of suburban outskirts of the cat-town megalopolis. That thing. However, Cat-town was nowhere to be seen, and neither were the lukewarm and verdant plains of the northern Katzen Herslands. Instead, in front of him stretched a large arid plain beneath a scorching, nearly equatorial sun. There was no megalopolis in sight, only scattered and evidently rather poor villages surrounding a moderately large city in the distance. Perhaps he'd arrived too early, back when Flucian was warmer. Or maybe this fusion was simply very different from the rest. Or perhaps, he thought as he stared to the rustic villages, strangely bereft of all usual aspects of Cat's militarization, this wasn't Flucian at all. So the whole point is that we have a cat from outer space landing in the world of equestrian war amongst a bunch of other cats, and is then determined to lead them to conquer everything. But their technology, whilst the felines here do not have the technological might of Flucian, it is at least sufficient for the Kaiser to guide them and begin a fresh conquest of unspoiled land. Okay. And their powers. Something odd here sets the world. Okay. World far apart from Flucian by all known laws of physics. What passes here for normal should not be possible. Instead of raging at the inconsistencies of it all, though Cattail can see the use for all this new stuff, magic, they call it. Oh my god, I'm just realizing all this is a sentence. This isn't Flucian, but their technology and their powers are worth taking over. It's okay, that's actually really clever how it's connecting all of this. So we're gonna take over the country then. At first, Cattail, of course, thought he was simply departing from this cycle. What was he to do without his trusty Katzens? And yet, this curiously anomaly intrigued him. Thus, he set out to learn more about the strange world. Wandering about the arid countryside, he quickly noticed that, while they weren't Katzens, the inhabitants of the area he landed in were most definitely feline, which made it surprisingly easy for him to get chummy with them and subsequently extract valuable information under the pretense of him being a wealthy Abyssinian expat returning to his homeland. In a strange parallel with what is usually happening on Flucian during his arrival, he learned these felines, too, were embroiled in political instability and stagnation, with many of them yearning for a proper regime change. But more interestingly to him was the wide variety of magical abilities reportedly displayed by the various species populating this world, which, much like Flucian, was strangely rich and diverse. He eventually concluded that, while it would be a brazen departure from his habits, this world had a certain potential when it came to furthering his ambitions. In the end, maybe all that his grand plans of universal domination needed to finally succeed were merely a little bit of magic. So yeah, let's take over the country then. Gets the event, the New Imperium. Changes names to Cat-town. Yeah. Good luck there, Taily. The actual takeover of Abyssinia was, for lack of a better term, relatively mundane. The skillful use of his immense technological and political knowledge from the past cycles made it easy for Cattail to rapidly gather a large following across the nation, which promptly marched to the capital of Panthera. Of course, some false promises and manipulations had to be undertaken, but the repercussions of that would be dealt with in due time. Oh my god, we're just perfect politicians now, aren't we? Naturally, Cattail still expected Tylee Sahisi Clominid, so like Solomonid, but Clominid, god dang it, to resist and cause a civil war. But, much to his surprise, as he stepped into Tylee Sahisi's Clominid's palace and confronted him in person, the monarch quite simply stared at Cattail before handing him the crown, seemingly almost happy to do so. And well, that was that. After generously allowing Tylee Sahisi Clominid to retire in a rural cottage, Cattail now found himself the head of Abyssinia and its 6 million inhabitants. But it was evident that this was only the beginning, as the nation he had managed to take over was not in the best of shapes, to say the least. Devastated by the Storm King, plagued by slave unrest, and threatened by Winged Barty's ambitions, Cattail knew that he needed to put in quite a bit of elbow grease if he was to make any of this work. Okay, we are, oh my god, it's the fleur-de-lis with a cat on it. Katzenia. Okay, we want to get technology. Oh my god, that gives me so much stuff here. Okay, awesome. Build kilo forges. With a sprinkling of Katzen know-how and hefty dose of Katzen industrial might, things will start to get interesting. Establishing kilo forges will help pump out the machinery of war for the Kaiser's plans. Oh my god, it just gives me so much free technology from the very get-go. The mark in your pocket. Cities and villages alike will flood with money, both a promise of inconceivable prosperity and a sweetener to make the bitter reality of war go down once we walk to the rest of the world uninvited. Yeah, who cares? After catnological marvels, we have thunderstorm and lightning. Very, very frightening. Okay. Thunderstorm and lightning, very, very frightening. Oh my god, the puns and the references. Oh, that is actually incredibly powerful here. Wow. Okay, but first, trains run on time, more civilian factories, more infrastructure, and removes legacy of the storm. In a long forgotten cycle, a bunch of pizza eaters revered this Piccolini Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. In a long-forgotten cycle, a bunch of pizza eaters revered this Piccolini sound-alike figure who allegedly made the trains run on time. It's a historical reference to Mussolini in more ways than one. Unrelated to that, the Kaiser orbital bombarded them into submission. Still, everything working smoothly will be a miraculous turnaround for these battered cats. Oh my god. From the get-go, I'm saying this right now, this is hilarious. Project 1, towards the Reisker. The pitiful hunks of metal that pass for armor here will be a thing of the past. Maybe too early to think of spacefaring behemoths powered by entire solar systems, but the Kaisers know how it can produce the next best thing with limited resources. A tank that screams overlord. Establishment. You're gonna give me 10 military factories from the get-go? Wow, holy crap. Project 2, the Katzenkampfpanzer. Close your eyes and imagine the thunder of wheels across the dunes. Behold an entire country blessed with the power of wheels. Every cat, a trucker, and they better be, if they are to keep up the pace. Oh my god. With that, every cat must do their duty. In Cattail's many cycles, he found that many civilizations do not effectively use the populations of more time. Why limit the fighting to just the adults? The more cats in the military, the better. A bullet is deadly no matter who fires it, and every able-bodied Katzen who contributes to the war effort is essential. Oh my god, what are these bonuses? Non-core pony power plus 50%. Annex cost minus 90. What? Duty calls Talabum Muta set in a seemingly endless line of Abyssinians, all waiting to get to the so-called Katzenification office, dozens of which had recently been erected across Abyssinia by Kaiser Cattail. Having been a little more than a laborer all his life, he wasn't too sure what to expect, and frankly hoped that this would be a little more than a formality. After his livelihood was devastated by the Storm King's plundering, he had just barely managed to rebuild his life to an extent that he deemed acceptable, and thus really didn't want to lose everything to the whims of some megalomaniac leaders again. Name, age, occupation, skills, ambitions. The Katzen at the office counter asked gruffly, snapping Talibia out of his thoughts. Talbiba Muta, 37, laborer. Laboring, I guess. I did put a military training in my youth, but nothing else. And ambitions? That's an odd question, he thought. Travel the world, I suppose. I never got the opportunity, being a peasant and all. Excellent. Then you're being assigned to the 1st Katzen Corps, which is the Kaiser's finest. Forget about your peasantries, though. The Kaiser will need the full potential of fresh Katzens like you if his visions are to be realized. As per the Katzenification decree, you shall henceforth be known as Gustav Mubert, proud Katzen of Katzenia. And he just, yeah, no, fuck you. You get a new name. Screw it. Welcome to your new life. All right. We got a new agency, the that thing. Oh, I don't even know what to do here. I have a dream. The Abyssinia of old was limited by its lack of ambitions. Every feline monarch of the past would have said impossible at the mere idea of a single continent under their rule. Cattail is the first to say never, as his Katzens march to prove their ancestors wrong. Yeah. Okay, I got spies as an option now. What do I have? Getai Biklawi. Oh my god, the art in this. Reta Mulgeta and Makanin Tesfur. Okay. Planning away, Telbiba or Gustav, as he was now called. Oh, so it's our character here from before. Sat alongside many other Abyssinians in a large newly erected building in Cat Town, which the Kaiser humbly dubbed the Cattail Military Academy. Much like the recruitment office that had dragged him to this strange new life, many of these had popped up throughout the nation, often within the same building as the office, all with the supposed goal of preparing the populace for the upcoming trials, whatever that meant. It means throwing your lives away. That's exactly what it means. However, perhaps due to Abyssinia's rather crippling lack of modern military masterminds, Gustav and many hundred, if not thousands of Abyssinians were listening to none other than Kaiser Cattail himself speak about his plans for the nation, with his speech being relayed to the other academies via radio. For hours and hours, Cattail went on about a vast variety of subjects, ranging from new era military doctrines involving armored vehicles to societal transformations and new exciting technologies to be implemented across Abyssinia. Gustav emerged out of the lecture feeling overwhelmed by it all, and so he sat down in a large park next to the building to allow his laborer mind to process the vast amount of information he had just been given. He just sat there, taking in everything, when his thoughts were once again interrupted by the sudden sound of someone else's voice. Pretty nifty speech, huh? A black-furred Katzen clad in impeccable military outfit addressed him. You look a tad lost. The name's Hans. Used to be a Yelikai, but I'll admit that Hans has a nice ring to it. What's yours? I'm sorry, I'm just a bit, lost by this whole thing. That's understandable. I used to be some lowly laborer before this, so getting all these opportunities is nothing short of refreshing. Incredible how Cattail is making it all work, huh? I used to be a laborer too. I didn't mind it too much, admittedly, although the Storm King really messed everything up, and I had to start nearly from scratch rebuilding everything. The Storm King, didn't you hear? The Kaiser said that we'd make the Yetis pay back what they inflicted upon us 1,000 times. Isn't that sweet? Frankly, I just want to do something more with my life than till some soil until I become soil myself, if you catch my gist. Well, that's one way of looking at it, I suppose, Gustav said, staring at the distance where many Abyssinians and numerous freed slaves were busy working on construction projects, prompting Gustav to think about the way that Cattail had somehow managed to do so much for Abyssinian society in so little time. Perhaps Hans was right to be excited, yet he couldn't shake off the feeling that it was all moving far too fast. All it would take is one mistake. Not very chatty, are we? Well, the Kaiser said it was important to develop a sense of camaraderie between Katzens, so want to be friends? Gustav looked up, having almost forgotten about Hans' presence already. Oh, friends. Sure, let's be friends. Can't hurt, really. Having lived a somewhat lonely life in rural Abyssinia for most of it, he wasn't really used to talking with complete strangers at that, especially with such overtly ambitious ones. But he figured he'd give it a shot anyway. If anything, maybe it would help him fit in better. After all, he'd already built his life from scratch once. What's a second time? Now we get new world, old acquaintances. In nearly every iteration of Flucian, several friendly faces have popped up like universal constants in the Kaiser's rise to power. Although the cycle seems highly irregular, those good old allies of his shall arrive to seize the day, even if they just need some reminding about who they actually are. We get Duklo MacArthur, Mjorg Pat Potten, Claitio Klotz Milson. Oh my god. Under the gaslight, the tall orange-furred Katzen was sitting in a nice comfy room alongside none other than Kaiser Cattail himself. He wasn't too sure why he was there other than he'd been selected for the so-called Destiny Realization Program based on his military leadership skills, academic studies, and strangely enough, his appearance. So, the Kaiser spoke in a soft yet assertive tone. Tell me, what is it you'd like to do? Well, is this a date? No, but I like that way of thinking. Carry on. Well, of course, I like a good military campaign, yes. Excellent. Do you yearn for the great beyond? I think I do, yes, although I never really got the opportunity to really dive into what that actually is. Have you ever dreamed of piloting the moon? What? Well, have you? Thinking about it, I think I did when I was like 6 or 7, yes. I was flying the moon with some giant cannon on it. It's pretty neat. Kaiser's eyes brightened as the Katzen spoke. Excellent, then I believe you passed the test. Cool, what do I get? You get a new name. Pardon me? From now on, you are Dukla MacArthur, Grand General of the Katzenreich Imperium Armed Forces. Do you accept? Dukla MacArthur, that's a funny name, but well, you're the Kaiser, so sure, I suppose. Do I really need a new name, though? It's absolutely essential. Now, let's discuss tactics, shall we? You got a lot of catch up. Like, it's probably not even the right person. It's just, fuck it, you get the name. Oh my god, these bonuses, what the hell? These are so strong. Now let loose the cries of war. We must not count days, we must not count miles, for we must count only the territories we gain and the numbers we stack against those who stand in our way. We must yet let loose the propaganda machine and push onwards to victories awaiting us. Let's do it. We declare war on Kluge Town. What the fuck is Kluge Town? This thing? What do I even have General? Wow, oh my god, what is with this heart? I will never get over this shit. I swear, is it like the Equestria Team Wars, just cats? Like all the varying people that have cats, are they just being like putting forth pictures of the race is on? Everything was in place. Through a series of intricate and complicated reforms, Cattail has managed to turn Abyssinia from a complete backwater into something somewhat resembling a modern state. Yeah, in the span of like less than a year. It took many tireless months of work as well as numerous deals with all strata of Abyssinian society, but the nation's various social classes, ranging from the nobility to the laborers, had been mostly reconciled with the numerous slaves that had been finally freed and allowed to become true Katzen citizens. Of course, there were still some tensions and clashes given how fast everything was moving, but Cattail was confident that that would be resolved in due time. The implementation of novel industrial methods and production chains across the nation have enabled the production of modern equipment to slowly yet surely fulfill Cattail's dream of the Grand Katzenreich, which was steadily swelling with fresh recruits from across the nation as it prepared to march beyond Katzania's borders and expand Cattail's dominion over the continent. And it desperately needed to, as unbeknownst to most, these miraculous transformations of Abyssinian society came at a cost. For Cattail's delicately tuned economic and societal model, which had now succeeded in uplifting Abyssinia, was not actually stable on its own. Just like the Katzenreich Imperium back in Flucian, it was built on and for one thing: war. In order to keep the industries running, the companies working, and the army growing, Cattail's hyper-militarized society needed a constant influx of fresh territory, population, and resources to be assimilated into itself, lest it would first slow down, then stall, and eventually collapse in on itself. the weight of its bloated military spending and over-militarized infrastructure. Thus, as Cattail and his high command enacted their war plans upon Katzenia's southern neighbors, the race was on. Cats in boots and tracks were about to flood over the continent, lest this flood had to never stop, ever stop, until there was nothing else to conquer, lest Cattail's supposedly miraculous modernization reforms were to be his undoing. We must conquer enemy states quickly, or else our nation may undergo collapse. Collapse? Why? Crack the lines, gain ludicrous speed, plus what? What is this? Declares war on the League of Four Emirs, on the national stuff. Oh my god. Oh, I declared war on a lot more than I thought that I did. Well, quick, let's just go ahead and dive into this here now, shall we? Here we have the conquest of Kluchtown. Yes, okay. All right, there's Anseric. That one's now done. We're just snaking our way through here, conquering all that. Once we have that taken, excellent. Just crack the lines, march on the Majocracy. Oh my god, this just makes us declare war on basically everyone. I have to conquer everything so fast. Which one is longer? Hemite, towards the sea, exploit the oil. Yeah, we're gonna do this here. We've proven ourselves strong on land, yet we cannot hope to win further victories and gain more land if we cannot sail across the seas and oceans. Our sights must now turn to the lands beyond the shores of Zebrica. Oh god, we're gonna go after Saddle Arabia. And that is Asteria. Okay, that one is done. Boom, boom. Take it all. This is some really fast conquest, just from how this goes from the very get-go. Holy crap, that's big. Emirate of Yip. Wait, why is this still good? They were still at war. Who the frick are we still at war with over here? I don't even have enough equipment for this crap. All right, come on. Conquer this one. And now I move so fast, I have to keep on clicking as I go. Otherwise, it just goes backwards. Okay, there we go. That's the Emirate of Yemen, because Maine, done. And that's towards the sea. So I made it here literally just in time. In the span of like a month, we've managed to take all of this. And now we're at war with literally all of these powers. Great. Quick, let's go ahead and rush down there. Integration of worthy. I can core this. Okay, yeah, let's do it. While we certainly have some use with the cultures that we've absorbed through our conquest, it is vital that we carefully consider which of these are worthy of greater things. Integrating the more loyal and skilled creatures would mean a much easier process of establishing our control and legitimacy over any new territories that we've gained so far. Yes, which I don't have enough equipment as it is. We're gonna need a lot of that here, actually. In fact, the thing that I really need is I just need next to, oh my god, march on the, I can't do this. I don't have the time. I'm desperately trying to fight here. I can't declare also war on this side too. What the hell, man? What do you want from me? Okay, that's the League of Four Emirs done. Oh my god. The interaction, George Pautin, the proud Abyssinian turned Katzen, serving as the head marshal of the Katzen army, was sitting in his well-furnished office in Kattown. The rapid growth of the Kaiser's empire required constant attention in order to stave off catastrophic collapse. And so that is exactly what Pautin dedicated his life to. But right now, he was simply enjoying a nice break with a bottle of Coltagian whiskey. And then it appeared, in the corner of his eye, seemingly out of thin air, some sort of creature, monster entity. Pautin was in an utter loss for words. For whatever it was, it looked like nothing he'd ever seen before in his entire life. Now hovering in the middle of his office was a strange L-shaped geometrical entity made out of some unknown dark material, crisscrossed by eerie glowing green lights, and exhibiting a pair of what appeared to be circular eyes, seemingly looking around the office, as the creature slowly rotated to observe its surroundings, making some sort of low humming sound. Initially struck by some primordial fear of this supernatural entity, Pautin quickly glanced at his bottle of whiskey, and then at the creature before shrugging, and speaking up in a coarse, authoritative, yet slightly drunk voice. Hello, you are within the office of Katzen Marshal Mjord Pautin. Please state your business at once, or face. Suddenly, Pautin's own voice was cut off as he simply could not speak anymore, followed by the creature turning around and facing him head on, its circular eyes staring into his soul. Face what? Elaborate, Pautin. I'm most curious, for I currently mean no harm. The creature spoke with an almost ethereal voice, which, given the entity had no mouth to speak of, seemed to resonate within Pautin's mind. And how did it know Pautin's name? How could he seem to unable to speak seconds ago? How was it speaking with no mouth? Well, Chad, do we A, threaten it with a gun, B, shoot it with a gun, and throw a grenade, or C, just say it's all a friendly misunderstanding? Well, I don't know what the hell's about to go on, so you know what? Let's play it safe. A misunderstanding. I can tell you wish you could shoot me, but are too afraid to do so. Well, not giving way to your basic instincts is good. What are you? Me? What I am revealed in due time, though not to you. I would say more, for my kind hate such mysteries, but that would not be going against protocols. You are a military commander, are you not, Potton? I have perused through your memories, and your kind is expanding at a rapid pace, which I find fascinating. Are you happy about it? Was the creature asking Potton about how he felt? Did it really just read his mind? Well, yes, I do like it. It's pleasant to watch my kind finally rise out of the mud, as it has been wallowing in for the past decade or so, thanks to the guidance of Kaiser Cattail. Excellent. May I join you? I know you're about to say, excuse me, so I will answer ahead of time. I'm curious about the way your kind engages in terrestrial warfare and wish to partake in it, for it is a subject of great interest to my consciousness. If not, that is all right. I shall depart you and will not be bothered anymore. By the way, you may call me however you like, if that makes you... What? Join us. Well, I'll call you Herb. Since you're a bit green, like grass. I suppose, yes. I'll think about it, yes. You shall make a fine general, Herb. Want to work in the ooh. Land doctrine cost, organization, construction? Yeah, send it to the research department, please. I'll take those bonuses. Oh god, I can't get through any of that. Come on, Coltrack, we have to move through this faster. I'm not moving fast enough. Okay, finally, there we go. That's the National Salvation Movement. That'll give me some more guns. I'm desperately in need of all this. I'm running. I can't even recruit any more units. They're desperately fast, but I can't do much else besides all that. Oh my god, I'm just now realizing this. Okay, I have more time than I thought. I didn't need to be going at this breakneck pace. Cattail's Imperium is a state built for one singular purpose, war. It continues stability and prosperity, thus relies on constant influx of fresh territories, manpower, and everything. Okay, so, if we fail to supply our war machine with the influx of lands it needs, it will suffer disastrously. Capturing an enemy state, okay, not the entire thing, a state, will add about 1 week of extra time to the clock. Wait a minute, it's just one? Losing a state will, however, remove a week from the timer. Oh god. Oh god. I need to get this done fast. There we go. Surround this. Come on. There we go. Saddle Arabia. Gone. Please. Thank you. Quick, make sure to snake our way in here. We are taking the entire long coast thing. God, I don't even know what's happening anymore. But that is the Arabian Popular Front. Okay, so that is gone. I can take everything here again. And I finally secured a border here. Okay. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. How much do I even have in this? 486. Okay, you know, I got over a year. Technically speaking, I could stop. I could actually stop for a while, which I probably should have done here from the beginning. Oh my god, that was a breakneck pace. I need to get some actual equipment. I don't have enough equipment. What is the next thing on here after this? Exploit the oil. Okay, I can do that focus. And modernize work programs. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do this, get some oil, get some lifeblood in us. And in the meantime, we're gonna use the opportunity to prepare for our next strike. All right, we are below a year now, so I think at this point it's about time that we launch our strike, and we seem to have some more units that can be deployed. So you know what? Let's do it. I actually have a decent amount of infantry equipment at this point, and I'm building up a surplus. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna need to modify this here a bit. The Katzenreich. Yeah, I should be able to produce a number of these. 3 more of those, and then infantry division. Yeah, we're gonna want some more of these. So, you know, let's march on the megocracy now. This Martania has the tools and artifacts needed to better utilize or profane this world's magic. Their whole gimmick of confining these entities away just won't do for the eager conquerors. Putting them on their field will give them the results that are far more accurate than any peer-reviewed study can produce. To that end, we must push our way towards the well-guarded caverns, no matter the cost. Oh my god. We declare war on everybody. Let's go, my brothers. How many are we attacking here? It's basically everything here into the south. All right, so we got that. What's next? Project 3, Super Tensile Blast. Like, oh my god. What? Wait. So it's going to drastically increase the cost of heavy tank production, but super heavy tank chassis production cost minus 15%. What is this? Main battles. The old tanks are a stopgap measure. Some more cats and know-how will make true machines of war. After all, there's no such thing as a tank that's too big. Please, give me the technology. Give me the technology of the tank thing. All right, there's the Hammerit Kingdom. Okay, that allows us to see some of their equipment. Boom. Can I have? Nope, I don't have enough forces in here to be able to, or the training to be able to do this yet. All right, there's the Super Tensile Blast. There's this one. Need to go forward. Oh my god, just trying to balance all this is freaking insane, man. All right, there falls the Emirate of Kusat thing. We cannot be stopped, okay? There's so much here that is happening. Oh my god. I should not have done that. I should have waited for my men to be recruited before I did that, because now it's going to be a desperate gamble to try and get all this out. Why am I just noticing these names? Casablanca, not Casablanca, Casablanca, Bronco. God damn it. We need all of it. Time to capture the vaults. We might have breached containment a bit too much, given that we still need to look for where these artifacts are. Still, we've gathered that what these mages have been studying were of Aternite origin, so no time to waste. Yes, fix our science. And also, what are Aternite relics? What is this? Is this a reference that I'm missing? Cattail ad eternum. Cattail, alongside his escort, strutted through the vast vaults of the cave. Most of the artifacts stored there, while interesting in their own right, were mostly curiosities of little actual value for his plans. They would have thus allowed to remain there with the oversight from Katzen scientists, who'd be working with the Obsidian Council, whom promises of funding and cooperation had managed to sway to his side in order to ensure the continued security and study of these magical trinkets. Some of the artifacts were far more dangerous, but also much more interesting. These would be studied extensively in order to bolster the Imperium's still lackluster science base, in a final bid to finally drag the Abyssinians out of the mud of technological backwardness, which had impeded the Kaiser's conquest for too long. But the Kaiser soon came face to face with what was perhaps the cave's most important item, a large resplendent artifact from ages past, gleaming with ethereal purple energy, whose visible age only made it all the more enthralling. It seemed as if there was a near infinite complexity, orders of magnitude beyond what the people of this planet would have ever produced in their entire history. To everyone, its origins remained shrouded in mystery, with many believing it divine in origin, a construct perhaps forged by Boreas himself. But to Cattail, the answer was obvious. This item's creator was none other than Aeternum, the galactic core's ancient precursor civilization. It seemed that they had just tempered with Flucian, so they had also tempered with this world and its people. Thus, so many more of these artifacts were almost certainly scattered around throughout the planet, and Cattail was going to get every single one. Fascinating. Clock is ticking, Cattail. Oh god, this is even more conquest. Enlighten them. Yes, enlighten them. All right, that is the Majocracy of Martania. That one is done, or Martania. Go ahead and take all that. Yoink, thank you very much. There is Mosey done, excellent. The Imperial Moswy, them. And Reem, finally done. Okay, that takes all of them. We've seized all the equipment, excellent. We grow even stronger now. What's the next step after this? Clock is ticking. This is on Karkadadistan, Duchy of Mertonia, Estonia, Ice Dragon Tribe, and adds 365 days to the ticking clock. Okay, where is that heading to? That is all south, it looks like. Well, what we're gonna need to do probably before that is bide our time a little bit. Actually, no, I should have the force. I should be able to do this. I should be able to take them out in a decent amount of time. Yeah, I'm getting more of these built up. Yeah, I'll be okay. I will have the numbers. Screw it, let's do it. Running an empire is like riding a bike, wherein momentum keeps you, well, moving. That or some public vehicle ready to explode if you go more than a certain speed. What was it? What was the, I can't remember what the name of the movie is, the bus and the bomb and that whole thing. Either way, such hypermilitarization does not come free. The empire's maw must grow, lest it collapse under its sheer obesity. Let's freaking go, man. Let's go. Just trying to manage all this with the technology, with the rapid developments, with the tank, we're moving so fast. This is actually kind of annoying to try to control. This is, a different kind of madness. Okay, that is that thing. Yeah, that one's gone. Yep, just keep on pushing. That's really all that we can do. What is even going on here with this resistance? Yeah, no. Who gives a shit about resistance? They will obey, whether they like it or not, and I understand that they do not like it. There's the Duchy of Mertonia. Go ahead and take all of that. Thank you very much. And Estlonia is also done. All right, that just leaves the dragons over here, which we have stolen all these navies, which subsequently we'll just be able to take them out immediately. With that, my friends, we are now in a really good position, I guess. The victory parades. Yes, in a matter of months, we've accomplished what few, if any, could have ever done. These cats who've nothing to aspire to before we arrived experienced joy after joy, achievement after achievement. Making official these celebrations will keep their thoughts away from the gargantuan need for yet more. The first step, Asur, Asarak, Mena, Merib, Truckers, Garlarb, dozens of other major cities had fallen under Katzinia's dominion, and Cattail could not be prouder of his soldiers. Under his guidance, they marched from the arid plains of Abyssinia through the fertile shores of the Arabian Sea, all the ways to Cape Histria and beyond the South Pole, swelling his empire from just Abyssinia to a monstrous superstate engulfing a large chunk of western Zebrica. This, of course, warranted celebration. Across the newly captured cities of Katzinia, columns of KK Panzers, followed by hundreds if not thousands of foot soldiers, paraded down avenues and boulevards. Much to Cattail's delight, these cohorts are made up of not only Abyssinians, but also a myriad of other species that had stopped seeing the Katzens as invaders, but rather allies worthy of their cooperation, yet in the span of less than a year. And yet, watching this large parade from atop the balcony of Cat Town, he knew there was nowhere near enough. All across his new empire, countless partisans and freedom fighters were already arraying themselves against his rule and that of the Katzens. These would have to be stamped out quickly before the problem grew out of control, he thought, as he began working to establish proper integration protocols and widespread counterinsurgency tactics with his intelligence agency to ensure his empire was ready to weather the incoming storm about to be unleashed upon it. As indeed, to many external observers, Abyssinia has gone far, far beyond the nation's wildest dreams, and was surely satisfied with its new conquest. But to Cattail, this is only the very beginning of his great journey across the world. Soon the hippogriffs and other yetis would fall, followed by the rest of the continent, and then the world. Oh my god. Dude, I don't even have the time to do all of this in terms of conquest. But you know what? Sure, let's start occupying everything. With that, we have the Zibtropa plan, and a few centuries too early for water cities, so let's settle for the second best, a dam to drain the Arabian Sea and reveal new lands for settlements and industry. Wait, we're going to drain the ocean? Why? We're gonna drain the freaking ocean. It's gonna be a symbol of the new order. We're draining the Arabian Sea. And a grand gesture from sea to shining sea? Not exactly, but the Kaiser has done a great deal in such a short time. The world's power blocks will surely realize that the Katzens are here to stay, and they will send their best to stop us. To that we say, bring it. That, my friends, brings us to continents. Oh my god, I don't have the time for this. I don't have the time for this. All right, continental ambitions. The empire's first obstacle is distance, the bane of every ruler's desires. From levying armies to nabbing taxes, roads and rail may be kindergarten to Kaiser, but he knows the necessity in cementing the Imperium's gains. Along the sea, to marriage of Chiroptera and Zarentia. You know what? Sure. Onwards to glory, we will find all of our trusted advisors. What is there in these pictures? Now it's the North Zebrican War, as this whole thing breaks out with, like, what, Chiroptera and whatnot? Yeah, onwards to glory. Who gives a shit? Capable hippogriffs towards the sky. Oh my god, it's just attacks even more stuff. I can't. Also gonna need Warzina, right? Yep, we're gonna need to go ahead and declare on them too, just so I'm gonna be able to actually attack. Go, my beautiful kitty cat brothers. That's right, sweeping through the north, you frickin' hippogriffs. Hippogriffs. That's what I mean. And there goes Chiroptera and Zarentia. Okay, all of you are now wiped. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for falling to my master plan. Huh. Well, this is something then. Towards the sky, declare on Alani and the Zarhe, the inventive Yetis. Oh my god, there's just so much. There's so much. I can't even process everything that is happening here right now. This just allows me to spawn a fleet of 10 cruisers and 40 destroyers? What the? Cracking open the mountain. Mount Eris has fallen and millions must submit. For a country that has only recently recovered from battling the Storm King, they went mad with prosperity. A sizable minority even wanted to leave the world alone. Such isolating debauchery. They and their wealth will not be spared from the Katzen war machine. Oh my god. Toward the sky then. Let's clear things up even more. With that, we have the inventive Yetis. Much of the world is composed of quadruped creatures, so species with opposable thumbs poses problems. Or they would have if they were not bipedal thumb users, or if we were not bipedal thumb users ourselves. The weapons and vehicles they left behind for the poor zebras to use don't have to be refit to our forms for one. Division speed plus 100%. Oh my god. Why? Next up, clean up the stragglers. Azir, Liberation Army of the East, and the Carthaginian Republic. Sure. Next up, march straight onwards. From the Great Lakes to inclement weather, we've entered the Yeti heartland. Treacherous mountains and inhospitable storms make for less than ideal conditions, but Cattail has mastered terrain far above the troposphere. Tacking on storm onto their names will yield the Yetis and their thralls nothing. A new life. Zenora couldn't believe her ears. When Katzen came to Carthage and forced the Republic to capitulate, she had feared for her life and the lives of her family. They even hid together in the countryside, having fled the city before Katzen tanks rolled through the streets. Like many of the refugees, however, the invaders eventually caught up to them. But what they did once the war for Carthage was over surprised her. Despite the great violence unleashed by Katzen to conquer Egypt and the other countries until they made it to Carthage, these new invaders weren't interested in enslaving them like the Chiropterans did. Instead, they saw Katzens begin reconstruction efforts and encouraged the populace to return to work and continue their lives. Amazing. See, look, getting factories, getting education. This is glorious. There goes the Icepaw Directorate. Yoink, thank you very much. The Hazed Federation, gone, thank you. The Central Zebrican Empire, gone. And the Thunderian Majocracy, gone. Which, wait, what the frick? Oh, I can't do anything here. I guess I just gotta take all this. You cannot stop us. You cannot stop the kitty cats. I just got the notification of the Great War over here in Equestria. I think that there's another Great War that's happening down here. After that, 10 minutes of revenge. Call revanchism for what it is, but once the Abyssinia had clawed its way to the Storm King's homeland, only humiliation is what the worst of these despoilers deserve, while the rest will have their geniuses harnessed. Our proud felines will get the justice they need, starting with a few renovations. Yes, I'm not going to read everything in here, but yes, we are going to need to go ahead and dismantle the Yeti state and incorporate them into our glorious kitty cat future. Armored airships, are you Storm Era heavy airship? What is this? What is this? Oh my god, rage plus 900%. Oh my god. What is this crap? Aerial supremacy alone is not enough. Although we may have outstanding planes, we must also make use of airships. Oh my god. The ponies never saw what was coming, guys. They never saw what was coming. That a curious specimen from the ashes of Hippogriffia, a peculiar sea pony has made herself known to us. This Posada has quickly established herself as no mere socialist, with ideas verging on whimsical. Then again, the Kaiser himself would be called whimsical if he were to speak of all he's seen in his life. Posada may have her uses then. She was strange. That had been Cattail's first impression. The missive sent to him had confirmed his suspicions. For all the sea pony's communist filibustering in her fish tank, she harbored an interest in the extra-normal and conspiracy theories. Yet she'd been the only one to see past the facade of fake scientists he'd forged to mask how much he knew. Like a dead clock being right twice a day, she was right. She'd get the truth sooner or later. Perhaps this had to be a benefit. Just to be clear, Cattail said, you believe that I've uncovered ancient alien records to use them for imperialist gains. Your plan now, I can only guess, is to help accelerate this futuristic capitalism until it collapses under its own weight. Then we use our alien technology to contact their makers, who apparently are also communists. Even if this alien stuff were true, why should we accept brazen revolutionary like you? Because you'll face the march of history, she answered, her waterproof mic conveying her words. If you bring me in, you'll have a high-ranking scientist who isn't afraid to explore where others don't tread. And more importantly, you'll have someone who listens to the heart of your workers, all tens of millions of them. They'll revolt eventually, whether from here or the aliens coming back to us, and whether they'll skewer you in the end will depend on what I can do. Consider this a kindness. Oh my freaking god, it's oh my god, it's luxury space communism. That's what it is. It's luxury space communism in a form of a pony. Towards the stirp. Oh my god, insanely powerful guns. Towed artillery, hard attack plus soft attack plus 20%. What is this? Gigastructural engineering. This world is rather small-minded, wowed by rolling tanks and airplanes, when these metal contraptions will be mere ants, crunched by the treads and thrusters of what Cattail will see and build. The sheer scale of what once was, will be. This is ridiculous. I love, this is so stupid. This is so incredibly stupid. Project Zebtropa, a dam to drain the Arabians. I actually get to launch mega projects. What the hell? Oh my god, we actually get to do it. 100 civilian factories. Oh my. I'm being sent into a coughing fit right now because this is ridiculous. We're catzenification. We're catifying the entire population. This is insanity. Just build every project. More. I need more. What are we gonna do now? In the Galactic Age, protecting oneself against planes faded when a massive spaceship could smoke a whole planet. Still, this world isn't up there yet, but this is the last hole in the defense Cattail could patch up. After this, the Imperium will be airtight. Try and take over the world. The cast of this planet have been chosen to disengage with every idea that will hinder their ascension, all under Cattail's wisdom. It is every Katzen's destiny to rise from their desecration at the Storm King's claws to secure glory. Every Katzen's destiny, but Cattail's, perhaps. What? All is well with the surrender of both the almighty Arisians and the dreaded Yetis, as well as the ongoing implementation of wondrous mega projects across Zebrica. Cattail now found himself at the head of what soon to become the world's greatest superpower. Given his knowledge of war and the vast resources now available to him, the next step was obvious. While it remained relatively secret for now as to not stir up the still integrating populations too much, a series of ambitious war plans were already being drafted, aiming at sweeping over the rest of Zebrica and strike at both Griffonia and Equus in order to finally secure Cattail's hold over the entirety of the world. And yet, in the midst of it all, Cattail felt uncertain. Was it really worth it? This world was not Flucian, yet it was rich and populated, but it wasn't quite as rich and quite as populated as the planet he was used to. But most importantly, while he usually enjoyed the support of several billion Katzens on Flucian, here he had only a few scant 100 million to work with. and now he's going to starve. With the rest having been assimilated into society, which of course complicated things quite a bit, would this world's potential be sufficient to realize his grand vision? Would he be able to defeat the remaining 2.5 continents with what he had amassed thus far? Or was all this little more than a waste of time, an illusion of victory propped up by Kaiser's general ignorance of this world's true nature? Cattail pondered for a bit. His arrival in this world was likely just a fluke, and cycle shifting now would certainly return him to his beloved world of Flucian, where he could once again return to his usual strategies. Should he just leave this world, which he had proven to be a nice experiment and a distraction from his usual schemes? He had no doubts that the Abyssinians to whom he entrusted the whole Loris von Katzbeck would do a fine job at taking over for him, so at least his departure would not cause a catastrophic collapse. Am I talking about, like, just ending my own life? But he couldn't deny this world had great potential, only waiting for a guiding hand to realize it and bring its inhabitants to galactic glory. Did he really want to commit to this uncertain and unpredictable world, or should he cut his losses and return to his usual strategies back to Flucian? This world is too good to give up. Continue onwards. This world isn't worth the time. Loris can take it from here. That would end it. Wow. Okay. My friends, here's what we're going to do. This thing is long. This is big. This is way bigger than anything that I anticipated. So here's what we will say. I'm going to end this video here. I've been playing this for quite a while here at this point, and I will say this, if you all want to see this, if you want to see a continuation, if you want to see what happens when the kitty cats try to take over the world, go ahead and like this video. In fact, I'm going to put a thing in here at the beginning of this that specifically says to go ahead and like this video if you want to see a continuation of this, and I'll give a little forewarning. But this mod, this bonus content is even bigger than anything I anticipated would ever happen with this game. And this is already a massive mod undertaking. To the creators of this mod, to the creators of this particular collaboration, I am incredibly impressed. You have done an amazing job in terms of writing, presentation, all the little crazy bonuses and everything. I ended up skipping through quite a bit as it was, even with me telling the story as we're going. It is truly impressive. And if you all want to see what happens when the kitty cats go to take over the world, please go ahead and like this video. My friends, I will end things here today. If this video gets 5,000 likes, I will do a part 2 to this. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end things here. Goodbye, my friends. I'll see you all next time.